If you have ever thought that automation would actually ruin your client experience, would create a disconnect between your clients and yourself, I'm here to share with you today why that is actually the opposite of true. Because we have worked with over 1,000 practices who have implemented automations using the TaxDome's practice management software, and they have actually found that their clients are celebrating the move to automation. And today I want to show you exactly why that is happening and give you a few tips and tricks around how you can implement client-focused, client-first automations into your small practice and help you eliminate the administrative overhead, the burden that is keeping you working long hours, and have you feel like you are building a business that you actually love because it's allowing you to have the life you love. If we haven't had the chance to meet yet, I'm Jamie Gruol, and after helping over 500 tax and accounting practices implement automation with TaxDome, I can confidently say that automation is the only way to increase your profit and time freedom in your practice. We work with small practice owners because so many of you in this industry are feeling burnt out, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling like there is just so much work to do. And if you really back out a little bit and go to that 50,000 foot level, if you evaluate your day-to-day work, I'm willing to bet that you're spending a lot of time chasing down your clients, looking for the documents that you need from them, following up on invoices, making sure you're having the cash come in the door to keep your small business afloat. And what you can really with certainty expect when you implement a tool like TaxDome is that you're going to improve your cash flow. You're going to improve your client responses and the compliance from your clients. You're going to get back a ton of time because you're going to be eliminating a lot of the administrative stuff that you're trying to do on top of the actual service delivery every day. Our clients experience on average between 10 and 15 hours a week that they get back in a small practice. And that's because they're eliminating the reminders. They're eliminating the overwhelm. They're eliminating the burnout that comes from trying to track things down, gather things from clients, track them down on the phone. And they're leaning into and leveraging automation that allows them to work more effectively, more efficiently, all while providing an excellent client experience. So the first thing I want to talk about today is why this all works. Why does automation actually improve your client experience? Number one, when you are a small team, a small practice, and maybe it's you or maybe you have a couple other team members, the follow-up and the reminders to your clients that cutoff dates are coming, documents are due, deadlines are happening, signatures are needed, invoices need to be paid. All of that requires your team to, if you have templates, which are great, to send those manually. Send the phone or send the email, make the phone call, do the follow-up. And all of that time is time that is not necessary. Because with the creation of tools like TaxDome, what this is doing is we're actually able to set it up so that throughout our services and the delivery of those services, we're actually able to quickly communicate with our clients. So the first thing that I want you to understand is that automation is intending to take what you are already doing and eliminate the need for you as a human to manually send that. And I will say, not all softwares do that. A lot of softwares, you will build out this essentially a checklist that says, send this email to the client. Someone is having to go in and send that email. But what is powerful about TaxDome is that we're actually able to send those emails automatically. So I'm going to show you just real high level what this looks like, just so you can conceptualize it. I'm going to go here and share my screen. So this is a TaxDome pipeline. I'll get into the right screen. And in my TaxDome pipeline, for example, when I've onboarded my client, they've gone through all of the automated steps of signing my engagement letter, paying my minimum fee deposit, signing my communications agreement, making sure they understand exactly what to expect during the engagement of taxes this year. It's going to change every year, so you need to make sure you're communicating that effectively and efficiently to your clients, and that's what this automated pipeline does. But once they have actually delivered us their documents through the organizer that they have completed, giving us all the details that we need about their tax year, we are able to say, awesome, thank you for sending that in, and send an automated email. This automated email, I'm going to talk more about it in a minute, is structured in a very specific way that is specific to the way that we at Workflows for Tax Pros write these. And it's intended to be an informational status update. Now, the other thing that you need to think about is why is this so important? Because a lot of your clients are probably sending you emails or making phone calls a couple weeks after they've delivered their documents saying, did you get them? Am I still in the queue? Like, where are we at? What this does is it allows us to lean into the Autobots of TaxDome to automatically send this communication, automatically be in their inbox, be in their portal, telling them, hey, we've got what we need. We don't need you to do anything right now. That does a lot for closing the loop of your clients. So I was actually just talking to one of our clients a couple days ago, and she was sharing that they used TaxDome, not this last tax season, but the one before. And they used it. They had their clients in there. They were getting documents and sending stuff for signature through TaxDome. But this year they implemented our workflow and this workflow that I'm showing you on the screen specifically. And they said they had a drop of about 50 to 60% in their phone calls in this year, because they were communicating with their clients effectively using automations. And a lot of people just dismiss this and think, oh, it's just an email. It only takes a minute. But how many evenings, how many weekends are you actually sending these follow-ups and having to track people down, or spending your precious time replying to an email and having to say, looks like we got your stuff on a couple weeks ago. You're in the queue. We'll get to it shortly. Why do that? Why spend your time? Pull that time back for yourself, pull that time back for sleep, pull that time back for your family. Make that time yours. I want to show a little bit about the what. What does it look like to actually send a communication like this? I think one of the things that people are concerned about when they see automations is that they're not certain what an automated communication should look like. Is it going to feel impersonal? Is it going to feel like it was sent from an automation? The first thing is that we need to adopt, as small business owners that are being powered by automation so that we can be better service providers, the belief that automation makes me a better service provider. Who does that affect? Does that like ring true to you? Because when you adopt the belief that I'm actually serving my clients better, you stop worrying about what is exactly in your emails, and you start thinking that now, because I'm not having to be overwhelmed and tired out because I'm sending all of these manual emails, I can actually do better taxes. I can catch more errors. I can catch more opportunities for serving my clients. That is what having automations in your practice is going to do. So let's talk a little bit about what an automation can look like. And I want to give you a little bit of structure behind it. This is a very simple email. This is the one that I was just talking about. This is a template within the TaxDome system. Now, the way that TaxDome works is we get to establish these templates, and I'm showing you one that is generic, and you can make these sound like you. But the first thing is we want them to feel like they're people-centered. And so when we're doing this, we're doing several things. First, we want to make sure that we acknowledge what they just completed. So we're making a list, checking it twice, making sure everything's there. This is just a quick update to let you know my team and I are reviewing your submitted documents. So what did they just do? Then it says, if we find any missing documents, we will reach out to you. Again, but don't call us, we'll call you. But other ways you can expect to hear from us when we move you into the queue working sooner. So that is, what can they expect next? And then what do we need them to do right now? Which right now we need them to do nothing. Actually, what we need them to do is not call us and ask us where their documents are at. But the things that a lot of people don't think about that. Acknowledge what they just did. What do they need to do right now? And what's happening next? If you can make that into a very simple communication back to your clients, you're going to quickly reduce your inbound questions about where's my return, where am I at in my tax planning, where's my cleanup for my bookkeeping at. All of these things can be triggered automatically to go out. Now, the other cool thing that TaxDome recently released is the ability to have client-facing statuses also. And the nice thing about this, and I'll show you one of these statuses here, is that this will appear on the client portal. And so this is another one where we can have in a static place the client portal and communication to our client about exactly where they're at within our process. Now, we're unique at Workflows for Tax Pros in the way that we structure our pipelines, because we actually put a lot more stages in here than anybody else. And that is done intentionally because we know that our clients, when they're moving through and we're communicating with them, we want to be able to control, one, What exactly are they receiving at a step? We don't want to overwhelm them and give them everything at the front. So we like to breadcrumb our communications and our actions requested of our clients, and that makes for a beautiful client experience. And when I said earlier about the onboarding, these 5 stages here, this is all happening automatically. We kick off our tax season. The clients are receiving not only the, hey, it's time to get started emails, but they're also receiving all of the components of my onboarding, and it's done seamlessly for the client. So if somebody is a Johnny on the spot and they're ready to get their tax season going, they could be saying, yes, I'm ready to get going, signing their engagement letter, paying their deposit, opening up the organizer and seeing, oh, I need to make sure I gather all those documents. And your early people, your early birds that come in every year, they could be onboarded and ready to go in a matter of hours if they have a really simple return and they're not waiting for documents to come in. And we have people rave about this every year. They're like, I sent my stuff out last night and I'm already getting money in the door, and it feels so freeing and is reducing so much stress because I know that my clients are succeeding at this. And that is where automation can be so powerful, because we're guiding them with succinct, simple communications that tell them exactly what we need them to do right now, not front loading everything like the old way where we'd send them a packet and expect that they would know April 15th is coming and here's all the 85 things we need them to do to have success. So this is where automation becomes so powerful. Okay, so what can you do right now? The thing that I think that you should think about in your small practice, if you aren't using automation, or maybe you're using automation, and you're like, but it's falling flat and my clients are hating it. What you can think about is implementing those things that I just talked about, breaking it down, making sure that you're doing the communication structure where it's what did you just do and acknowledging them for that. What do we need right now and what's going to happen next once you meet that requirement? And see if you can also build these into your automated workflows. And if you don't have automated workflows, or you're like, this sounds like a whole lot of work, I don't want to do it by myself, then Workflows for Tax Pros might be the solution that you need, because this is what we do. This is what we specialize in for small practices, giving you the exact templates, the exact structures, and the system on how to use the tool of TaxDome in your small practice for success. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you can always reach out to us. The information is below this video, but I just wanted to share these with you because they're game changing. And I will give you this little anecdote before we wrap up here. But many of our clients have shared images of their clients responding to automated communications that went out during their first year of using TaxDome and the Workflows for Tax Pro system, and their clients are celebrating it. I wish I had pulled up those screenshots because it is so good. And when you have your clients feeling like they're being communicated with, they feel valued, they feel that you are providing them better value, and it changes the game in you being the service provider and the professional in their world. So I encourage you today to think about how you can improve your client communications and how you can leverage technology, tools like TaxDome, to make sure that you are breadcrumbing and pulling your clients to success in every service delivery that you do within your practice, because it will be a game changer. And not to mention that it's going to unload so much of the time that you're pouring into manual administrative work that is not necessary and can be used in such better ways, like actually enjoying life again. So if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, please drop them below this video. I am always here for it, and we will get back to you soon. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk again soon. Cheers.